Hello there, the name is Mwalimu and welcome to the fourth part of the Lightroom class that I've been offering on my channels and particularly focusing on beginners. So in this particular segment of the course, having tackled the introduction in the first video, having tackled file management in the second video, and having tackled culling using Picasa in the previous video, I think we are now at a good point for us to get into the software. But before we get into the software and start using the software, I think it is good for us to understand what the software has, what it can do, what its menus are, what some of the shortcuts are, because I equate editing to driving. And I always say a driver who understands the functionings and the layout of the car is going to have an easier time on the road as compared to one who does not have that, because once you understand how the car functions, you just focus on the road use and not focus on the car itself. Okay, so as an editor, once you understand how these softwares are laid out, what the tools are, what they do, what are the shortcuts are, you're going to have an easier and faster time using them, and that is going to give you a better experience and a better experience for your clients also, because if you're faster in the softwares, you can deliver the photos faster. And one of the things that really keeps you in the good books of clients is being someone who has a very short turnover period. So one of the things that they'll say when they refer people to you is they deliver their photos quickly. So how does that come about? If you have to edit, you have to be also fast in software. So without further ado, let's get into the software. I'm going to show you guys the menus, some of the shortcuts, and whatever you're going to be using as we get into the fifth part, which is now importing and so on and so forth. So I'm going to open my software here. Let me just run it like that. So the speed of this is going to depend on your PC. I have a decent computer, so it's a bit fast, not so fast, but it's a bit fast. Yeah. So this is Lightroom for you, and like you can see, we have a lot of menus and a lot of things to look at. Okay, so whenever I teach photography and specifically editing softwares, I always tell my learners this. You don't have to learn every aspect and every tool of this software, because even for myself, who has been in the game for the last 9 towards 10 years, there are some areas of Lightroom and Photoshop that I use daily that I've never even touched. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing with you guys the parts of the software that matter to us and what they do, and what that is going to set a foundation for you and help you get ready to use the same software to edit your photos. Okay, so I'm going to start from the top left. Yes, I'm going to start for the top left. On the top, you have the logo. After that, we have the name of the software, of course. Then down there, we have a number of menus. So we have the file menu, we have the edit menu, we have the library menu, we have the photo menu, we have the metadata menu, we have the view menu, we have the window menu. And so each of these particular menus is going to be giving us a different tools to use in the software. So for example, on the file menu, we have all the tools that we need to manage our files, things like opening files, importing files, exporting files, or creating catalogs, opening recent files, and things like that. So that's you see things like new catalog, open catalog. I'm going to teach you what a catalog is in the next video, where we talk about importing photos to Lightroom, because once we import photos to Lightroom, our photos create a virtual copy, and our folder becomes a catalog. I'm going to explain that in the next video. So open recent, things like import photos. We also have the import menu for bringing photos and videos into the software. We have the export menu for exporting videos and photos from the software. So I think in the outline that we have importing as a topic, so that is going to dwell on this. Then after that, we are going to have exporting as a topic, is going to dwell on this. We also have something like tethered capture. This one right here, I'm going to do this but separate from this particular course because they're not so related. So even exiting the software, there's a shortcut down here. So after that, we have the edit menu. So the edit menu is about the editing part of the process. It enables you to select or deselect photos. It enables you to create editing presets and things like that. After that, we have the library menu, and this one particularly deals with the outlay and the properties of the files that we have in the catalog. So the catalog that we have in the software make a library. So this particular set of tools is for us to manage whatever we can see here. Whatever you can see here is our library. Okay. So for us to manage how these photos look, how they are ordered and things like that, that of the particular set of menu applies to that. Then we have the photo menu. So the photo menu is for manipulating photos, specifically things like rotating, flipping, rating, and things like that that I told you can use to color. Is available here. Then metadata is all about the metadata that you have in our files, things like shooting information, copyright information, and things like that. So then in the view, we change how the menus that you can see here appear in terms of how they are ordered, their sizes, and things like that. So then in the window, we also change each of these sections is a window. So this is a window, this is a window. So the arrangement of these windows is arranged from this particular point. Then the last one is help, where mostly we get things like custom activation and updates. Okay, so on the left side of the software, we have your files and your folders, like you can see. Then in the middle of the software, you have your libraries, like you can see. Then at the bottom of the software, you have previews of your files, like you can see. This one down here, this film strip has previews of your file. So then up here we have different modes of the software. We have the library mode. So in the library mode, that is a mode that we use to manage the files and the catalogs without editing them. Then for us to edit our photos, we have to go to the develop mode. Okay, this one right here. So when you go to the develop mode, you can see as compared to when we had several photos visible, we now have one photo selected, and we can select a different one and replace what we have there, like that, just by double clicking it like that. And now you can see in the develop menu, we have our editing tools here, things like color temperature, tint, exposure, contrast, highlights, and the things that you can use to edit lighting and color, like that. Things like HSL, we have sharpening, we have luminance, we have lens correction. I'm going to take you guys through a bit of this, not everything like I've said. I'm only going to teach you the part of the software that I use myself, because I think for what matters most for a photographer, that is what is going to matter. What matters for me is going to matter. What is going to be what matters to a photographer. So I'm going to teach you guys what I use for myself. Okay, so out of these particular menus, what I will use mostly, or what we shall use mostly, is going to be the library mode. I'm always so cautious with this name, man, because I come from potato land, and in our place, L's and R's are enemies. Okay, so we are going to be dealing with the library mode and the develop mode. For the map and for the book, for the slideshow, for the print, and for the web, these are tabs of this software that I have never touched. I've touched just to explore, but they do not apply to me and what I do as a photographer. So I'm going to be dealing on the library mode of the software. And I said, well, this is how we have our catalogs and our imported files. And we are going to be dealing with the develop mode of the software. This is going to be what you're going to be using to transform our images. Things like color, lighting, framing, cropping, and things like that. So then after that, on the menus that we have here, we are going to be using a bit of the file menu on things like importing and exporting, but we can do that using shortcuts. Then on the edit menu, we are going to be using mostly the edit watermarks part, because we are going to be doing a whole part on editing, on creating and editing watermarks. So then I think from there, I do not use any of these other modes much. I've never used the photo mode settings. We can use that once in a while, but for what matters most, we're going to be using a lot from the file menu, a bit from the edit menu, then a lot from the library menu, and a lot from the develop menu. So I think that is a good foundation, and that sets a good ground for us to get into the next video. And in the next video, we are going to now know how to import our photos from where we have them copied and saved into the software for us to get ready to edit them. Because for you to edit your photos in this software, you need to have them in this software. So how you get them here is what you call the import, and that is going to be the next process as we proceed. So you guys in the next see you guys in the next video as we do the importing of files in Lightroom.